Yo, what up, everybody? I go by J5Y Productions. I'm a new cinematographer slash videographer slash photographer in Detroit, Michigan. And I just started this channel and I'm trying to get it up. So before I go any further, I ask that you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. The reason for this video is because I saw a video on YouTube, somebody that I'm subscribed to, that I follow. He did a review on his lenses that he used for his camera system. So I was thinking like, man, I got lenses, I use a camera. So why don't I do the same? So before I go any further, I want to shout out KZ Flicks. He's a dope cinematographer, videographer slash content creator, photographer, you name it. Colorist, dope. Dope. I would like everybody to like, share, and subscribe to his channel as well. All right, so let's get into these lenses. Okay, before we go any further, I want to show you the camera that I use. It is the Sony Fx30. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Put it in focus. It is the Sony Fx30, which is a dope camera. APS-C sensor. Super 35. Yeah, so this is a dope camera. Okay, my first lens that I purchased for my Sony Fx30 is the Sony kit lens, 16 to 50 millimeter kit lens. Let me see. So y'all can see that. Zoom in on that. There we go. It's a dope lens. Don't get me wrong. The pros about it, very sharp. Autofocus is great on this lens right here. Paired with, especially with a Sony camera or any other, camera, but sharpness, autofocus is great. Photography, great. But when it comes to videos, the thing that I don't like about this lens is the color. Like, you can have your white balance set perfect, everything. It seemed like I have to turn up the saturation when I use this lens. So that's my con right there. But overall, as far as like sharpness, focusing, quickness, photography, great lens to have, especially for a beginner. This is a beginner photographer slash videographer lens. So I recommend this for you new beginners. If I ever have some new beginners watching my channel, this is a good lens for you, because I'm still a beginner myself. All right, let's jump into my next lens I bought. Okay, this next lens that I purchased is made by, forgive me if I'm saying it wrong, I believe it's Mikey or Makey. I'm just going to show y'all really quick. And the reason for this lens, I have to give another shout out to my boy, Clark Bishop, which is another dope cinematographer, videographer, content creator, photographer, colorist, you name it, out of Detroit, Michigan. And he's the reason why I don't feel bad about purchasing my FX30. So shout out to Clark Bishop, y'all. Y'all go and subscribe to his channel too. When I first got my FX30, I saw a lot of videos on how don't purchase the FX30, get the FX3, get the FX3, get the FX3, this, and that, right? It's full frame. Yeah, we know what the FX3 can do. But, and then I ran across Clark Bishop, and he was like, man, all you need is a FX30 and a good cinema lens, and you good. So thanks, Clark Bishop. So, like I was saying, the reason why I purchased this lens, because Clark Bishop did a dope video he shot with the FX30 and the 25 millimeter Makey or Mikey lens. And I thought the image was amazing. So that's what made me purchase this lens right here. And then from that, I purchased also the 25 millimeter Mikey manual focus. Both of them are manual focus. And I also purchased the 35 millimeter manual focus lens. Image quality, great. I like the imagery. Little cinematic to it, you know. Blurred background, yes. You know, it stops down to, I believe it stops down to 2.8. So it's okay. You know, a little blurred background, you know, give you that cinematic look, but not like the more professional, like the DZO and the, you know, all of the Sigmas and Viltrox. Not like those, but this is okay for a beginner. That's the point I'm trying to make. These lenses right here, these three that I just showed you, made by Mikey manual focus lenses. So let's jump into my next lens. Okay, this is my next lens made by Samyang. It is a wide angle lens, 11 millimeter. Let me see. Let me get a close up on that. Let me take that so you can see the glass like that. It's made by Samyang. What I like about this lens is it's almost the same as the kit lens in the beginning. Great autofocus, sharpness, quickness. But when it comes to the coloring, it's just I gotta add so much saturation to get the color to look right or to pop, you know, if I make sense. But overall, like, I like the lens, but like if I could avoid this lens, I would definitely avoid this lens. All right, moving on to my next lens. Now, this lens right here is another dope lens. I recommend it for photography. It's another Mikey lens, 50 millimeter manual focus. Nice bokeh, nice blurred background, you name it. But when it comes to like video, I don't like it. But photography, yes. It stops down to 1.7. So, dope lens, you know. As you can see, pretty decent for a beginner. These first, how many lenses I've been through already? I would not recommend this for a professional. No, these are all beginners lenses. Well, or lenses for beginners. There we go. So I would recommend these for beginners, photographers / videographers, content creators. All right, on to my next lens. Okay, now these two lenses right here are my most like go-to lenses in run and gun situations, if I make sense. My Sony 50 millimeter lenses. They both stop down to 1.8. And I know you're wondering, like, why do I have two 50 millimeter Sony lenses? Well, I used to shoot a podcast a while ago, and I used two Sony Fx30s. So I already had one Sony 50 millimeter lens. So I was like, well, you know, I want everything to match. I went and bought another Sony 50 millimeter. But these two are my running guns. These are more for like podcasts, music videos, like maybe like a quick vlog or something. I'll use these two for that. One of the two. Content, you know, especially with the autofocus. The autofocus is great in the both of these. Quick, very quick. And they give you a cinematic look as well. So, and they're great paired with the Sony Fx30. These are APS-C lenses though, you know, and that's what you beginners have to know. You guys have to know, and you have to remember that, because that was something that I didn't know. I just jumped into this not knowing the difference between full frame and APS-C. These, I would not recommend these to go on a full frame camera, but these are for APS-C. So off to my next lenses. Now, everybody, it's time to get into my lenses that I use for serious work Now, these lenses that I'm about to show you next are used for like short documentaries, some vlogs, short films, film, etc. When I want that more professional look. These are my top lenses right here. Coming in at number 4, bam, my SLR Magic 35 millimeter. This is a cinematic beast, y'all. When I tell you it's so great no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say compared. It is so great paired with the Sony Fx30. Oh my God, imagery, amazing. Let me take this off so y'all can see the glass. This is all manual focus right here. Amazing. Short films, documentary, they give you that cinematic look, you know? Look at that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to use all my both hands and I'm trying to hold the mic, but I don't know if y'all can see that or not. The blades opening up. But this is a cinematic beast right here. And I got this from eBay for $150 used. I don't mind buying used lenses. You new beginners, don't be so proud of where you got to have everything new. If you can get it used and it's good and in good shape, get it. I recommend that. $150 eBay. On to the next lens. Now, this is my baby because this one is vintage glass. Yes, Tokina. This is my Tokina 28 to 85 mil. And when I tell you, this baby is nice. And it comes with the built-in ND filter on it too. Right here, see? I don't know if everybody can see that. Nice. It was EF mount, so I had to buy an adapter for it, a EF to E mount adapter. So it's Canon EF. I only paid $35 for this lens, and I did some great work with this lens right here. Look at that. Let me show you the glass. Look at that. $35. So don't be ashamed or afraid of using vintage, because in my opinion, vintage is better. It looks way better. It's soft. It's not too sharp, you know? It's way better. And that's what we need to know as new videographers, photographers. We need to know when it's time for the image to look sharp or when it's time for the image to look just a little soft, you know? We have to know that, you know? And that's what I love about this. Now, when it comes to photography, it sucks. I don't like the photography part of it. But video, yes, cinematic video. Yes, Tokina. On to the next lens. All right, here's another one of my favorite lenses. The Sony Nightwalker 35 millimeter. Stop down a T1.2. This is a beast, especially when it's paired with a camera like the Sony Fx30. This is also a APS-C lens. It is not full frame. And this is a cinematic beast. For those who run across this video and have cinematography experience and have used one of these, know what I'm talking about. This is a powerhouse right here. Sony Nightwalker. I love this. Is one of my top lenses right here when I want that good look. Okay, everybody, we finally made it to my #1 lens to go to out of my collection. When I tell you this is my #1, this is my film, documentary, you name it, short film. That when it comes to the image quality, when it comes to the bulk of the background, the cinematic look, the softness, you name it. This is the lens. My 85 millimeter manual focus lens by Mikey. 85 mil. I love this lens paired with the Sony Fx30. Great image quality. great. Let me just take this off real quick so I can show you guys the glass. When I tell you great imagery, great. Look at this. Look at that. 85 mil. This is my top one right here. This lens is so good, I don't even have to shoot an S-Log3. That's how great the image is. I could just shoot straight out the camera or picture profile or something like that on the FX30. You Sony users know what I'm talking about. This is my baby right here. This is my number one. Like if Netflix asked me to shoot something, I'm using this because that's how good the image is. And what I'll do, everyone, is I'll after I told you guys about each lens and what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them, I may do another video on like imagery, like giving you guys examples of what I was talking about, especially with my top ones and my 2 run and gun Sony 50 mils. But this is my baby right here. I forgot to mention also, I'm shooting this on the iPhone Pro Max 15. I have a lens for the iPhone. Let me show you it. Made by Freewell. This is the anamorphic 1.33 D squeeze made by Freewell for the iPhone. And when I tell you this is a nice lens, paired with the iPhone, it's great. Image, great. That's the pros. But the con is, I got one con, everyone. The con, what I don't like about this, let's just say if I had the iPhone on a gimbal and I had this lens attached, you can see rolling shutter. Like the image will be like wobbly, or if I make sense, like rolling shutter. That's what I don't like. So if I do use this lens, I'll have to prop the iPhone on a tripod like I'm doing right now on a tripod, and then attach the lens that way. That way I won't get the jiggly and wobbly footage. And that's even with a gimbal. So that's the con I don't like about this. But as far as image, the softness, you know, that anamorphic, that blur, you know, that nice background. Yes, this is nice by Freewell. Got it off of Amazon. Oh yeah, and it also has the gold flares. I was shopping for the blue flares because the blue flares are my favorite, but they didn't have it, so I just took the gold flares, and it still looked good. Image is good. 1.33 D squeeze. Okay, that concludes my video, everyone. Like I said in the beginning, this is a new page. I'm trying to get it up. Please like, share, and subscribe. And once again, I'm just going to give a shout out to the people that I'm subscribed to, the people that inspired me to keep going, the people that I've learned from, KZ Flicks, Clark Bishop, and Prime ATL. Prime ATL, you're a dope cinematographer too, man. I look at your work. I'm subscribed to your channel. I follow you. That was a dope idea when you and all of the other cinematographers got together in Atlanta, and then y'all went down to shoot and you vlogged that. That was a dope idea. I wish I can find somebody in Detroit like that. Just get together and we all just shoot. I would love to do something like that. All right, that concludes the video. I'm out.